Right, good morning everybody. Hello, this is Cliff from the Christian Tough Guy Show coming right at you from the very misty West Midlands. Good morning to you. Now today's broadcast is we're coming in focusing on the fitness side of things, and the title is Press Ups Are Better than the bench press. Now, we've had this discussion before, whereby people are adamant that the barbell bench press is the king of kings of exercises for upper body strength. They could not be more mistaken. Let me explain to you why these people are mistaken. The first thing is, if you take a flat bench press, when you lie flat back on a bench and you push a barbell up and down, your scapula, your shoulder blades, are not being allowed to move freely. Yes, your shoulder blades, scapula, yes, there will be movement. Yes, there will be protraction of the shoulder blades and retraction. But the movement is stunted. Now, I don't want to upset anybody here or offend anybody here, but they might say, what are you talking about? Because you lie flat out on the bench with your back against the surface of the bench, your shoulder blades, right, are in effect pinned against the surface of the bench. What happens is you'll get limited protraction and limited retraction. Now, some of you might be saying, look, I just don't worry about anything like that. All I'm worried about is I just get on and I just bench. Just get on and do it, man. You know, stop trying to super analyze things. Just get on and do the exercise and bench. Right? The targeted muscle is the triceps, upper body, anterior shoulders, pectorals. Just get on and bench, mate. Just don't even go there. Do you know? I agree. The exercise, the bench press, I'm not saying I dislike it at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying press ups are better. Period. No ifs, buts or maybes. Yes, the bench press is going to work out your pectorals, your anterior deltoid, all that. Yes. But you will have limited motion about the scapula. So the question is, so what? So what? Well, there is a so what to this, actually, because when your scapula is not allowed to move freely through its fullest range of movement, the scapula, the surrounding muscles around the scapula will become tonic and phasic. And they'll become both tonic and phasic, weak as well as extra tight, tonic and phasic. Phasic, weaker, tonic, tighter. When that happens, the stronger muscles are going to take over and the weaker muscles are going to get weaker. And you don't want that, especially in the upper back area, because you don't want too much development in the chest, okay, with not enough development that is specifically, for example, say in the lower trapezius area. You know, you're going to get this imbalance. Moreover, what happens is, and people say, well, the same happens with a press up, but no, it doesn't actually. The pectoral minor, which can be a little swine of a muscle when it becomes tight, will pull your shoulder girdle out of alignment. It will round it, it will pull it around. Just think of your shoulders rounding. You do not want that, because your starting position for any exercise is going to be in an over-excessive, protracted position, which you do not want, because the glenohumeral joint that rotates in the glenoid fossa, in other words, your ball and socket joint, which is at the top of your arm, upper arm humerus, that sits in the shoulder blade, the scapula, is going to be out of alignment, right, initially, and it's going to have to correct itself, go all the way round and around and around, back in, to sort of like realign itself and then back in and go on into retraction. What this will do is it will put out glenohumeral rhythm. Think of your shoulder, your ball and socket joint, as a golf ball on a golfing tee. Okay, he hasn't got much to manoeuvre around in. And specifically when you get a condition known as impingement, but I'll come into that in a moment, it is normally caused, well, the primary cause of it is out of kilter and out of balance muscles, the primary cause, which then causes this sort of out of rhythm. It is a glenohumeral rhythmic, the rhythm of the problem. When you do an overhead press, for example, your scapula moves, your shoulder blade moves up in rhythm, right, to your upper arm, to your humerus, in this very limited glenoid fossa area, the golfing tee and the golf ball, right? You get the impingement when there is sufficient gap between the ball and socket joint, and as the arm elevates, it catches, it impinges. Okay? I'm not blaming it on barbell bench pressing. I'm just saying that it is probably an exercise that you need to put on the back burner rather at the forefront of your exercise regime, because of that reason. It will pull your shoulders out of kilter because of muscles, specifically the pec minor, also the other one, the subscapularis muscle. Okay, they go into become too tight, become too tonic, and then muscles like your rhomboids, and specifically, we haven't mentioned this just yet, your serratus anterior will cause eventually impingement problem. That's what bench pressing will do. Look at any of the big, strong powerlifters. They'll all tell you they have shoulder problems. Then go and seek out people like Bill Hartman and co. Alright? Bill Hartman, Hartman, Hartman. Okay? And people like that. And you will find the press-ups are definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, definitely superior to a bench press. Let me explain to you why. When you're in a press-up position, you're not lying on the bench, whereby you have limited scapular motion, because your scapula, your shoulder blades are underpinned or pinned on the bench surface. That doesn't happen. That's the first plus point. The second plus point is that your core muscles, and your core muscles basically means everything apart from your two arms and your two legs. If you chopped off your two arms and your two legs, you'd be left with the core. That means your backside muscles, your back muscles, your neck muscles, your chest muscles, right? That is your core. And when you're in that position where you have to ensure that you keep your spine straight, or better described in neutral. It engages the whole of your core muscles, specifically about the torso. That's the second plus point. The third plus point is it will allow the serratus anterior to work doing the job it needs to do. And the serratus anterior is known as the boxer's muscle. It's like very attractive when people are got under 15% body fat. Looks like your ribs are showing through. Very attractive muscle. Very nice looking muscle, but probably one of the most functional muscles in the core. It's known as a boxer's muscle. What the serratus anterior is largely responsible for is protracting the scapula and retracting, wait for this, around the rib cage. So it moves across posteriorly and then it comes round anteriorly. Posteriorly and then anteriorly. Posteriorly towards your spine, and then as it comes back anteriorly, it comes back around the thorax. Okay? When your serratus anterior are weak, what will happen is the scapula will, what is known as wing. That means that they're not gliding they're not gliding around the rib cage. Okay, hugging the rib cage, right, around the rib cage. They're not able to do that because the serratus anterior are weak. Other muscles that come into it are the trapezius, the middle trapezius, the lower trapezius, the rhomboids, okay? All these muscles that come in to create that hugging effect. And you'll get what is known as winging, and that is where the scapula, the inferior angle of the scapula, that's the bottom bit where the point is, okay, will stick out, will posteriorly tilt. The scapula do need to have a very minute posterior tilt to allow a gap where that pointy bit is at the bottom inferiorly, so it doesn't grate against the rib cage. But you just need to apply some common sense here, right? And you need to view the shoulder blade muscles. What covers the shoulder blade muscles? Right the way down to the deepest of muscles, okay, to the superficial muscles, the large trapezius, the rhomboids, okay, you've got the serratus in there. If you can imagine underneath the scapula, there's muscles underneath the scapula. And all these muscles are going off and they are attaching all around your shoulder girdle. The front, the back, this is where you get your rotator cuff muscles. Your subscapularis is coming into it. Why? Sub, underneath the scapula. Subscapularis coming around, attaching up near the carosoid process. All these muscles interlinking, okay, to keep that shoulder joint integrity. Okay? That is the reason why press-ups are better. But if you're still listening now to this broadcast, the question might then come up, well, hang on a minute, bench press is better. Bench press is better because you can load on the weight, get underneath that bar and get training real rugged, real hard. You can't do that with a bench press. Do you know what I say? Yes, I agree. Up until now, that has not been possible to do that with press-ups. Unless you get somebody loading press-ups on your, loading weight plates on your back, or getting somebody to sit on your spine, or getting a rucksack and putting that over. Oh, do you want to be sitting on some 18-stone gorilla's sweaty back in the gym, the commercial gym, with everyone looking at you? Do you? Well, I wouldn't. People might say, well, get a girlfriend to do it. Yeah. Yeah, right. Then there's the rucksack method. Do you want to garrote yourself? You put 100 kilograms, right? You put 100 kilograms on your back in a rucksack. Then come back and tell me, if the rucksack hasn't snapped, the webbing buckles haven't broken and given way, come back and tell me, how did it feel, the strapping, when it was going over your shoulders? Just tell me the truth. I guarantee you will feel that webbing strapping pulling right across your neck. And that's not what you want. I can tell you. Not with 100 kilograms on your back. What happens when you collapse out on the floor? Exactly, you've got 100 kilograms entrapping you. Not good. Not intelligent. If you've got mates that again are prepared to load up weight plates directly onto your spine, onto your back, you might think that that's a great way of doing it. You better have good, entrusting mates that are going to do it for you. That's all I'm going to say. You better make sure you got right top of the form entrusting buddies. Because if you ain't, you are right in trouble. Go on YouTube and you'll see some of these accidents doing it that way. It only needs that tower or weight plates that is stacked up on your back to collapse, and one of them to hit you over the back, crack you over the back of the head. You're going to have a nasty headache, aren't you? Not good. With what we have produced, the II crew, the weight is inverted underneath you. Okay? So you can train to your heart's content and know that you're safe. You can train safely at home, on your own, knowing you are safe. And that is the crucial thing here. Taking a good exercise, a neat exercise, which we've talked at length, to be fair. This is a longer broadcast than normal. press-ups, taking the press-up exercise, okay, and turning it into an absolute phenomenal exercise and keeping you safe. So, I would urge you, if you're interested in your training, you want to get training, contact us, because we are the people that are going to set the bar, basically, excuse the pun, but we're going to set the standards so high. Okay, once you have trained our way, you will never go back. So, again, to contact us, the web address is www.iicrew.com. Look on my profile, you'll see all my contact details there where you can drop me an email. Okay, let's open up the dialogue. This is Cliff from the Christian Tough Guy Show, and I'm out of it. Ciao, have a lovely day.